Hey guys, it's me, Maddie. Are you ready to make some crafts? We're gonna make 6 different crafts over the next 5 weeks. In your VBS craft box, you have all the supplies you need. Do you guys remember that story that Libby told you about Jacob and his dream? He saw God in his dream, and he was reminded that God is everywhere, and he's always with him, everywhere. In his room when he thinks he's alone, God is with him. He's with him at school, on the bus, in the library. He's with him in the Grand Canyon, on the top of the Eiffel Tower. Everywhere, God is with you. So today, we're going to make Dreamcatchers. The Native Americans used Dreamcatchers to catch the bad dreams. They only let the good dreams get through. So, when you look at your Dreamcatcher, you're going to be reminded of all the good dreams that you have, and that God is always with you, no matter what. Okay guys, here we go. So I know you've opened this and looked through it already, but we're just going to pull out just what we need to make our Dreamcatcher. You should have your supply list, and it's the very first craft on here. So you need your wooden hoop. You're going to have a baggie that has yarn and beads and thread and feathers. You need that baggie. And that's it. You are going to need a few more things from home. You're going to need some scissors, some tape, and a toothpick. So if you want to pause the video, you can go grab that now. I didn't grab that, I need it. Toothpick. We're ready to go. So, the very first step for making your Dreamcatcher is we're going to cover our hoop with yarn. So open your bag, and you should have white yarn. Now, some of you are going to have a hoop that looks like this, that has a metal piece, and some of you will have a plain one. If you have one that has a little metal piece, just twist it to the right until it closes. So that will be the top of your Dreamcatcher. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to take our yarn, and we're going to find that top piece of yarn. So you can pull out the end, and as it unravels, this is what you're going to wrap your hoop in. So if you have a metal piece, take your yarn and just tie it in a knot around the metal piece. You'll probably want to tie at least 3 knots so that it won't come undone. We want to make sure it's nice and secure. We don't want our Dreamcatcher unraveling. Okay, now, next step is to just wrap your hoop in white yarn. This takes a while, but once you're done, it'll look really nice. So, when you're working around that little metal piece, it can be a little tricky, but you're just going to keep wrapping, just like this. And then scoot it up. Your goal is to cover the entire hoop. Okay guys, I'm finishing up. I'm just doing my last few loops, and I'm gonna show you how to tie it off. This will be the same for if you have one that has a metal piece or if you don't. So, your very last piece, this is my last loop. I'm gonna hold my loop loose, and I'm gonna stick that through. I'm gonna wrap it one more time. Do the same thing. Stick it through, and then pull it back through and pull it tight. And that should stay. So you're gonna just snip off the extra. And if you have a little tail from the beginning, you can clip that off too. So now your hoop is wrapped. The next step is you're gonna need your embroidery thread. And I hope you have colors that you like. You should have 2 variations of the same color. So I've got purples. So you're gonna slide off the little packaging. So just slide right off the end. And you're gonna pick which color you want to go make your design on your Dreamcatcher. You can use both if you want to. I think I'm gonna go with the dark purple for mine. So, same thing, you're gonna tie it right on to your Dreamcatcher. So, loop it around, tie 1, 2, 3. When in doubt, tie 3 knots. Snip off the extra. Exercise and tight. Now, when it comes to your design, you can do this however you want. You can make it random, you can do both colors, it's up to you. So I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go straight down, and then I'm gonna come around, and around, over, under, over, turn, over, and just keep going around. And the yarn on the hoop helps to keep the thread from sliding around. So you can do whatever design you want. If you decide you want to use both colors, you just tie off your first color and you tie on your second color. Sometimes the embroidery thread can get a little tangled, so just loosen it up and it should undo for you. Okay, I think I want mine to stop right there. So mine happened to come right back to where it started, but if yours doesn't, it doesn't matter. Just clip it and start over. So I've got my string. Give yourself a little bit extra so you have room to tie your knot. We're just going to do the same thing we did before. Tie your knots. 1, 2, 3. And then cut off your little tail. So that's my design for my Dreamcatcher. Next step, you're gonna lay your Dreamcatcher up and you're gonna decide how you want the bottom of your Dreamcatcher to look. So you're gonna have 3 pieces coming down. So you can choose what color. You might wanna like braid these. You can do that if you want. I think I might. So sometimes this is a little tangled, but it's okay. So I'm gonna do 2 longer ones on the outside. So I'm gonna tie this on slightly off center on the right. Again, 3 knots so it won't come undone. 1, 2, 3. So decide how long you want it to be. Lay out your Dreamcatcher. Always make it longer than you think, because you can always make it shorter. So I'm going to make mine about that long. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to tie it right here. 1, 2, 3. Next step, I'm going to make these the same length, about. Then I'm going to change to the light purple. I'm going to do the middle a little bit longer. You can do it shorter or longer, whichever you prefer. Or you can do them all the same length. Or you can make them all different lengths. It's totally up to you. Okay, next you need your beads. You should have all different sizes. So I'm gonna carefully pour those out. And you're gonna wanna lay your beads on your strings where you think you're gonna want them. So just kind of make your design, plan ahead. Maybe like that, and maybe put these here. However you want. You don't have to put beads on all of them if you don't want to. You can just put beads on the outside ones or just the inside. Doesn't matter. Okay, I think I like that. I think I'm gonna do mine like that. Wait, like that. Okay, so the next step is stringing your beads on. Now, sometimes the ends of the embroidery thread can start to fray and unravel. So that's what the tape's for. Just take a little piece of tape and put it around the end of the embroidery thread, just like that, so that it's on the end, like that. And then, if you cut the string, it's okay, but you just want to make it really skinny so that it will fit inside your beads, just like that. So it gives you like a little point to thread your beads. So sometimes these wooden beads get little pieces of wood stuck inside, so that's what your toothpick is for. Just take your toothpick, swirl it around on the inside, and that'll clean it out, and your embroidery thread should go in much easier. So just start threading. Okay, so when you get to the end, decide exactly how long you want your string to be. I cut mine kind of long, so I think I want it, if you kind of imagine your Dreamcatcher hanging, how long you want it to be. I think I like that length. It's totally up to you. You're gonna take your embroidery thread and you're gonna tie 3 or 4 knots right in the same spot so that it creates a big bump in your beads, because see, once you tie it tight, that knot is really small and the bead will slide right off. So I'm gonna make a second knot and I'm gonna line it up right on top of that first knot, just like that. That's 2. Go for 3. Right on top, because we don't want your beads falling off. I'm going to do one more. One more, guys. Right on top of those others. Perfect. And that knot should be big enough your little beads won't fall off. So there's your first one. And leave that tail on it because we're going to add feathers at the end. Okay, I'm on to my next string. Okay, so at this point you can hold it up and you can kind of see what it's going to look like. Now to the fun part. In your bag, you should have gotten 2 white feathers and a bell. Your bell might look like this or it might look a little different, but everybody has a bell. So I'm going to put my 2 feathers on my 2 outside pieces. Okay, so as you're starting to put your feathers on, it's helpful if you have another set of hands. If you have a buddy or a grandparent or somebody who can help you, thank you. You're gonna have that person hold your feather, and then about 1/2 inch from the top of your feather, you're gonna put some of the little feathers above your string. You're gonna tie. And again, when in doubt, 3 knots. Oh wait. Okay, another set of hands. Thank you. And again, about 1/2 inch from the top of your feather. Just about, doesn't have to be exact. You're gonna tie your 3 knots. A little tricky. 1, 2, and 3. So now we have both of our feathers tied on. And you're gonna snip the little tails. Flip it over. Little tail. So at this point, you can see your feathers. Okay, last step. Bell. This is pretty easy. You got a little loop in your bell, stick your string through. I want mine right at the bottom of my beads, but you can put it wherever you want. Okay, just like that. Cut your little tail off. Slide your beads down. Ta-da! Okay, very last step. Embroidery thread. Want a decent sized piece. About 1 foot, 12 inches. Snip. And that's what you're going to use to tie it. So, if you have a Dreamcatcher that has a metal piece at the top, that's going to be your top. And you can use that to tie it. So, fold it in half and tie your knot at the very bottom. So that just gives you your loop. Just like that. Then, you can tie this around the metal piece. If you don't have a metal piece, just tie it right around your Dreamcatcher. Easy peasy. Again, 1, 2, 3. Don't forget. I know you won't. I've said it about 100 times. 1, 2. 3. Okay. Then snip the little tail. And there you go. You can make your loop as long or as short as you'd like. Okay guys, I hope you guys had fun. And also in your craft box, you probably already found it, you got what we're calling a flat Jesus. He was in the very bottom. He was kind of covered up, but here he is. And once you make your Dreamcatcher, if you'll take a picture of you in your Dreamcatcher and your flat Jesus, and if you will send it to us, the directions are on the back of your flat Jesus. We would love to see your crafts and your pictures, and we're going to make a video at the end of the month, at the end of VBS, and it's going to have all the pictures in it, and it's going to be great. So I will see you guys next Wednesday for another really fun craft. Bye, guys!